Hey, Charlie, welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Yes, my name's Charlie. I've got an SEO agency. I started the agency in Spain nearly 10 years ago. Work with clients in a number of different sectors, but mainly travel, leisure, and lifestyle. Yeah, recently moved back to London. Decided to kind of make that switch from lifestyle to growth, and yeah, enjoying every step of the way so far. It's been great.
Awesome. How'd you get started? Are you an accidental agency owner?
I think a lot of people are right. A lot of agencies are accidental. So I worked in an agency for 3 months when I was 22. Um, After 3 months, I thought I could do this myself. I couldn't, which was quite interesting. I tried for 6 months. I thought, all right, let's try and get a job. I got a job, skipped the exec stage. I managed to get a job as a digital marketing manager for a home improvements company in the UK. I grew that from just myself in just like a small office to we had a team of 10 there. Did that for 2 years, like built them up to millions in revenue, and then thought, you know what, I'm ready now. I've built the team. My boss was great. He was very much, he let me make a lot of mistakes and try things and test new methods, which was amazing. And it worked out. Took those learnings. I jumped on a plane to Barcelona. I was meant to stay there for a month. Ended up going to this co-working there, which was 7 floors high. It was an amazing building called Attico. Um, Picked up a client there in a week. Before I knew it, I had 3, 4 clients, and then just decided never to leave.
Awesome. What did you
Yeah,
charge your first client?
€500 per month, which is, what's that in dollars? It's probably about $600.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. How long did it take you to start raising your prices?
I would say I wasn't that experienced in pricing up SEO to begin with. So I think for the first year or so, the maximum budget we were working with was really, I'm talking dollars, $1,000 to $1,500. It wasn't until really around the 2, 3 year mark where we started really looking at how we could scale the services. So it quickly jumped from that to we were getting some clients that were 10K, some 15, 20K. They were great. But the problem is when they leave, when you're a small agency, they leave a big hole in the company.
Mhm.
So our strategy, at least for the last 4 years, is actually we're looking at that sweet spot. The 3 to 6K mark for us is perfect because it allows us to get a predictable marketing engine in, predictable sales. We've got packages. It's very much, I don't want to say cut and paste, but for us it works because it's predictable.
Yep. Now, looking back, what obstructions or issues did you overcome in transitioning to the productized kind of agency model? Like, how did it impact your agency's, efficiencies or profitability?
Well, it's ultimately made us more profitable, which has been great. What I realized, and speaking honestly, whether this was down to a lack of commercial experience myself, I always used to kind of think big retainer, big profit. But you can very easily, yeah, you can very easily when you're working with these enterprise clients, you can very easily squeeze your margins. They can squeeze your margins, and you also normally end up over delivering. Uh, it's Payment terms are usually a bit of a nightmare. So what I found was that where before we'd make a comfortable 30% margin, 40% net on a customer, that was being dropped down to sometimes like 5, 10, or once in a while it would even be a loss because yeah, we'd end up just trying to please them all the time. So what I came to realize after some years is that with our longest lasting clients, the ones that have been with us, some of them have been with us since the start, our first clients, them ones were always sitting around that 3 to 6K mark. And I'm like, they're all actually technically have the same service. They're all profitable. The lifetime value is more than what these larger clients were paying us because they wouldn't stay with us for years and years. So I was saying to myself, like, okay, how can we actually just package this up? make it a bit more predictable, it's just worked out a lot more smoother, not just from the client expectations perspective, but also like the team know when a project comes in, they know what to do. They're not working from scratch each time, which is it's all just seems a lot more fluid.
Yeah. Now, most agencies, when they productize, they think they need to productize to the outside world versus just kind of behind the scenes. Which did you do?
In what sense? So you think like you mean just internally our offer?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's more internal. I mean, front facing on the website, or in our sales decks, for example, the spread of what those productized retainers include looks quite wide.
Hmm.
And it is, it covers, depending on which package you choose, that can go anything from your local citations to full blown international digital PR campaigns. And on top of that, if people want more than what's in those products, they can always bolt on as well. There's always that space to be able to increase that further. But internally, the difference is now the team know how much effort is required for each one of those services. They've got clear SOPs, clear templates. So whenever a new client comes on board, it's efficient, it's plug and play. Like we know what to do. We know there's that month one where we're gonna, initiate the quick wins. We're gonna get the strategy in place. That's fine, but they know the parameters, what they're working with, and it's all clearly documented and just easy to roll out.
Yeah. I always find that when I got smart in our agency and profit went up, we productize it in the back office. So but we always made it look custom to the client based on their needs, right? Because I feel a lot of times when agencies first productize, they think they need to go to their potential clients and say, look, do you want gold, silver, or platinum? And I always tell the agency, I'm like, look, now you're making that prospect make two decisions. And you're positioning yourself not as the advisor. You need to kind of go, well, Mr. Prospect, Mrs. Prospect, based on what you told me, here's what I recommend. We go do this. And they don't care if it's a gold, platinum, or whatever it is, because there's two types of people. The one that wants the highest version, but wants to pay the least, right?
Yeah.
And it never works out. So I'm glad it's working out for you. And I just want to make sure everyone, you know, hears kind of what that you actually need to do when you actually start productizing your offering.
I think as well, a good takeaway for this is like, we're not a behemoth of an agency, right? Like we're under 20 people, founder led. We do have salespeople, etc. But like the reality is, our USP, because we're not at scale, is one of our USPs is that the fact we can be nimble. In fact, it makes us more profitable. The fact we're lean, we can deliver more for the money, right? So if I can pre-qualify prospects before they even come through to the website, they see the website, they see the prices, they see what's included in the service, what the guarantees are. I don't mean results guarantees, but I mean like satisfaction guarantees. Everything's there. So by the time someone calls us, they say, okay, we know how much it costs. We've got an idea of the services. Are we a right fit? That has changed what used to be a lengthy process of me spending 8 hours on a proposal only to get ghosted, to me signing off and having clients pay their first month's invoice via a WhatsApp message. It has really been that simple. I can sell on the call now sometimes if I'm lucky, not all the time, but
Yeah.
but it just streamlined that.
Yeah. The one thing that I find with agencies that have gone through that challenge is they didn't figure out the right system to qualify that prospect or the right offering to put them through, right? So what I found, because I was just like you, like I would spend a ton of time on the proposal, I'd put all the strategy in it, and then people would fucking ghost me and it would piss me off. And I'm like, God, or I'd find out their budget was like $100. And I'm
Yeah.
like pitching them something like $100,000. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, yeah. And then I immediately think, and I think I went through this phase where I actually put all the options on the website, put the pricing on the website. But here's what I found on my personal experience. And that's what I like about the podcast and talking to everybody is there's 1,000 ways to do different things and you have to figure out what works for you. But here's what didn't work for me. I found that there was a lot of people coming to my website that would see the prices and it would scare them off because they were like, oh man, you're too cheap.
Interesting.
Okay. And so I was like, because a lot of people would refer and be like, oh yeah, I was referred to you, but I went to your website and I saw that you charged 6K, 10K. My budget's 100K. So you're not the right fit for us, even though I could have done that. So what we did was we took the pricing offer website and then we structured our offer to do in a different way. So I'd have a 30-minute triage call with them. Okay. Basically kind of qualifying them and figuring out, can I help them? Do I want to help them out? So I would go through what I call NBAT, need, budget, authority, and timing. And so I'm asking their budget and I'm getting their budget almost every single time using like our budget buster thing. Everyone kind of knows about it now. All right. Because most people don't ask the budget because a lot of times if you ask the budget's so much higher than what you would have charged. Now you meet them where they're at. So you have that adjustable pricing. But then I would position what I call the foot in the door offer, like an hour strategy, 2-hour strategy that they're paying for to find out their biggest challenge, then go to the project to fix that challenge that we've identified. Now we built trust. Now we could charge double the retainer that we would normally do for the year. So
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I think from a psychological perspective as well, once someone's actually paid, even if it's a small amount, we have, maybe it's not exactly the same, but we do have like this Kickstarter product, which is, it's not a full strategy. It's like $800 and it's just quick wins.
Yeah.
You pay it once they're in and it's the flow. It gets people in and it really, really works. The challenge that every agency's got, whether it's SEO, is that there's such a low barrier to entry in the agency world. And I always remember a prospect telling me once before on a sales call, we were talking about due diligence of agencies, and he told me, if you haven't been burnt by an SEO agency before, you haven't been in the game long enough.
Yep.
And it really made me think, there's a statistic in the UK of, not sure what it's like in the States, but there's a statistic in the UK, there's something like 50,000 agencies, but only 6,000 of them have more than one employee. So there are so many charlatans out there, so to speak. I think trust is the biggest obstacle that you need to overcome. So if you can make that small offer, just get that small commitment, you need to over deliver, but prove your value, prove your worth, make some changes, and that ultimately just builds the trust, right? It's the right approach. It's the right approach, and to help you demonstrate what you're doing as well.
Well, I mean, they're 20 times more likely to work with you if they have a good engagement. And most people are not charging for that, and they just get a proposal. And then here's the other big thing I find a lot of people messing up. Their foot in the door offer, that first offer, is too big and too many deliverables. It should be done with you live. So they should actually see, and it's just high level strategy that you're probably already giving away. Now you're charging for that. But psychologically, I think a lot of us go, well, we used to give this away for free, so I need to overwhelm the shit out of all this prospect, make them feel that we're the smartest people in the world. But when you do that, you actually belittle them and you make them feel really dumb.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's true. So it's relationship building, isn't it? So
it's all relationship building, right? There's a lot of agencies that they'll listen to the podcast, they'll come up with their foot in the door offer, but it will be without the client. So they'll go away for 2 weeks or a month and then come back to the prospect. I'm like, no, you've lost it. Like literally have that triage call, set up the foot in the door offer the next day or the next week, like get that meeting while you're in the meeting, get them to buy it, like send them to an e-commerce page where you get their credit card. I don't care what you charge for it. It could be $10, $5, 500, 2,000, whatever it is. You tell the prospect, look, I'm not making money on this. Like I'm actually losing money on this, but I just want to do this because it's worth it. And I want to see how serious you are. And if you don't like it, I'll give you your money back. So like you immediately qualify them.
Yeah, that's it as well. That gets past the obstacle what you mentioned earlier. Like the last thing you want to do is start preparing a proposal, spending half a day on it, full day on it, and then not just get it ghosted, but find out the budget's like you say, or they're not willing to commit.
That's why you ask that budget within the first 15 minutes of the first call.
Yeah.
And you're qualifying them for the future retainer, not the foot in the door. Like everybody should be able to afford $500 or whatever you charge, but I think you qualify them for a $25,000 a month retainer.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I guess from our perspective as well, we don't usually go in. So like I say, this average retainer we go for, sometimes they very easily build up to 10, 15, 20K clients. They can do because people start to see the value, they add more, they want to target another geo. Like, I mean, in Europe, there's so many different languages, right? People want to target. So we can adapt, and there's always add-ons. But yeah, I agree. I agree with your points on that.
Yeah. I mean, just build the trust, get them to pay, show them the value, right? That's how you build trust. And then you can lock them in, because the first time I did this with, I guess when I sold the agency, I took 3 or 4 years off of doing nothing. And then I remember one of my old competitors who was an SEO agency came to me. It was like, hey, I'm charging just $5,000 a month to month. And I walked him through this process. We were able to turn, and he would only hold on to his clients for another 6 months, which was a whole nother issue. So he was only making 30,000 every time he would sign a client on average. And so he switched to this model, the foot in the door to a project to a retainer, right? His average, so he would charge $2,500 for the foot in the door. Then it would lead to like a $15,000 project, because like in order to fix a lot of things, it took like 2 months, but I was like, charge for 3, right? Just to make sure we have enough time to show value. Then his retainer went up to 9,000 for the year. So he was making over 100K for every client that he sold. His close rate went up. His sales process went, or the cycle went way down, right? Rather than, spending a month trying to get a client, it was like a week, 2 weeks. So it was like, but you have to do it in the right order, and you have to figure out what's the right thing for you in order to be like, how do I show value the quickest?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. And, the longer you leave, again, from a psychological standpoint, it's, if you send someone a proposal or whatever it is, and they wait a week, then they're most likely lost interest, or someone else has come in harder with the close. And like you say, if you get the initial commitment, you're very unlikely to get ghosted if someone's paid you that money, and it just allows you to build that relationship, and it is the best approach.
Yeah, awesome. Well, moving forward, right, in your agency, what excites you about the agency future for you, and everything kind of that you guys are building? Because obviously things are changing very fast in SEO, and people are making up names for, getting, AI and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, AIO, GEO, all sorts, right? It's exciting. And I feel like around 2 years ago, I remember saying to one of my friends, I was actually finding the industry a bit flat, a bit boring. And I feel like the day I said that, or the week after I said that, like ChatGPT, everyone was using that, then AI overviews, and I was like, oh God, be careful what you wish for, so to speak. So last year actually was quite a lot of uncertainty, I think, for agencies last year, because especially in the SEO space, because clicks gone down, AI overviews taken over, you've got ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., etc. But it was a real kind of eye-opening moment for me, and also this again, why I'm not the only move back here as the GEO, but there's a big. I wanted to have my finger on the pulse with businesses, and in Spain, I felt a little bit removed. And since I've come back here, it's just sparked something in me again. I was never speaking at events, and this year I spoke at maybe like 10 or 15 in London and Amsterdam and other places around Europe. It's just been so interesting to get jumping back in again. We've got some really cool case studies now. We've been doing a lot of research on how these AI search engines are influenced. We're running experiments. We're talking about them. It's just exciting again. And there was, like I say, there was uncertainty last year. We didn't really know I didn't feel genuine offering a service to someone. Like I seen someone the other day put like case study, it's like 400% increase in ChatGPT traffic. I'm like, well, yeah, because ChatGPT wasn't driving traffic before, so it's going to be that, right? So I'm always trying to like cut through the crap, so to speak, when it comes to offering these services, and just whether it's a talk, case studies, or when we're pitching, it's always trying to be backed by data. So yeah, it's just been really nice speaking to businesses, ones that aren't even involved in the marketing space, lawyers, builders, people down the local bar, like seeing how people are interacting with the web nowadays, and then just working out how, as a marketer and business owner, I can communicate how we can support with business growth kind of in this changing landscape. So yeah, I feel like it's been a lot of sink or swim moments for a lot of agencies, so to speak, and a lot of people have been coasting for a long time.
Well, it's just going to take out the crappy providers.
Yeah, that's it. So for me, it's just been a massive opportunity for us to double down, and probably been the hardest I've worked in a good few years, the last couple of years, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it keeps the mind fresh, and it makes you, like when I sold the first agency and I was doing nothing for a while, like I just felt bored. Like I didn't feel challenged, right? And especially when things change so fast, like they are, like from week to week, like different tools are coming out. Some tools are much better one week, and then the next week, it's a lot of fun. And I want to, yeah, it's nuts. And that's why, we created a community of agency owners trying to figure this all out. Because if you try to figure it all out yourself, it's really tough. But if you surround yourself, because that's what, that's really the advantage I see, in the next coming years, is your network is your greatest advantage. Like who you surround yourself with. And if you have your network where you can constantly, they understand what you do, right? And they're trying new things out, and they'll be like, hey, don't try this thing out, man. This bombed. Or dude, this thing really worked for me. Go see how it works for you. And then you do it differently. And, it's just, that's what I've always wanted when I had the first agency, and that's why we created it. So cool.
Nice. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's inspiring as well.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, Charlie, thanks so much for coming on the show. And for everyone listening, we have an event coming up called Elevate. You can go to elevatemyagency.com, check out all the details, where it's a curated list of amazing agency owners sharing what's working, what's not working. We have some really amazing speakers, activities, and sessions to do it. So go to elevatemyagency.com. And until next time, have a swank day. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you want more content like this, make sure you click on the link on the screen, or check out your most popular podcast platform where the full episode is there. And until next time, have a swank day. What are you doing? Go check it out. Click on the link. I'll see you soon.